And if you didn't know, Cruisin USA, the original, was an arcade game, and it was the first game unveiled for the Nintendo 64 console, when it used to be called the Ultra 64. Get it? Put me in your house. Da, da. Minty box. So mint, it's toothpaste. You know, the nice toothpaste. Crest Diamond 3D Luxe toothpaste. Super Nintendo is excellent. I really enjoy the Super Nintendo. And funny enough, the boxes are identical to Nintendo 64 boxes. Works out well for me because I only have to buy one size of protective collector's case. Protective collector's case. This was one of my early exposures to PC gaming, as well as the first-person shooter genre. The game that gets the crown for my first exposure to first-person shooters was actually Doom 2, and that was on the Mac. In fact, the only way that I really liked to play that game when I was much younger was with the God code on. Gadget God with the God code! Yeehaw! Welcome to the next episode of Complete Nintendo 64 Collection. We're collecting every North American Nintendo 64 game with the box and the manual and the cartridge as mint as humanly possible, but also for as cheap as humanly possible. So with that said, we have some real good ones here today. We have a rare game that we got complete in the box, which started with just the box and then a cartridge and manual set. And we also have a big upgrade for one of our very uncommon games. So let's go ahead and jump on into the goodness. So let me just clean up this setup here so it's a little bit easier to go through these. We're still gonna do them all, just making it a little bit easier for us to have a nice clean setup to open up our new N64 games. So this first one here I wanna show you, I'm actually super excited about. So this, yes, it's just the box, but there's a really cool story behind this. So GX3, for whatever reason, is a very uncommon complete in box game for the Nintendo 64. Probably because it came out late in the system's life cycle, probably because it's GX3. So this is a game that I knew was going to be difficult because it's very uncommon and it's very expensive if you try to find it. But what did we do to get it? So here's the story. First thing is that I've been watching on eBay for anything GX3 N64 to come up for a very long time. In fact, the last time that a GX64 complete was sold on eBay was 4 months ago from the date that I recorded this video. So 4 months ago from this date right now was the last time a complete in box GX3 was sold on eBay. So I saw the box come up, just the box, and it was super price. We're talking not even in the double digit range for the box only, and I scooped it up. I scooped it up ASAP, and you can see it's in very good condition. It's not absolute super mint, but like I said, this is so uncommon that I was like, wow, for such a ridiculously low price, I'm scooping up the box. I'll be patient for the cartridge and manual. So then, with my patience being rewarded, somebody actually listed this bundle. Completely different person, and this was 2 months later. They listed a bundle with GX64 and GX3, the cartridge and manual. So they had a bundle that was GX64, GX3, cartridges and manuals in a single bundle, and that was under $20. I asked them if they'd be interested in selling for less than their asking price of $20, and they said, sure, these don't mean anything to me, I'm happy to do that. So I got the complete in-box GX3 for around the $20 mark. Now, as of right now, if you go on eBay, there's one person selling GX3 complete in box for $75. And I got the complete in box set through patience and perseverance and hard work for just about $20. That's how you do it. I'm trying to help you. That's how you do it. GX3, and then included in that price, I got GX64, mint manual, and mint cartridge thrown in for free. That's what I call a sweet deal. That's how you collect for retro games. That's how you do it. Am I making sense here? So GX3, the actual game itself, we did have the original GX64 on our PlayStation 1. And at the time, it was a really good game. This was like Super Mario 64, except for other platforms. If you didn't know, the original Gex game came out on the 3DO. The concept behind the 3DO console was that you had audio, you had video, and now you have 3DO. That's really what their concept was. So the 3DO was an insanely expensive console. You're looking at around $500 when it first came out. And no, it wasn't a good system. I'm telling you right now, it wasn't. We didn't have one of those. But Gex is actually a great 3D platformer. Sure, the jokes are a little dated now. They used a lot of topical humor from the era. But as far as controls and everything, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. So I do recommend Gex. And if you're trying to get a complete in box, you got to be patient. You got to work with people. You got to come up with the bundle deals. That's how you do it. Honestly, super happy to have GX3 and to pay such a low price. For our next game, we're going to do this one. Cruisin World. This is the second Cruisin game for the Nintendo 64. You got Cruisin USA, Cruisin World, and Cruisin Exotica, and their level of rarity complete in box goes in that order as well. Cruisin World, arcade racing game, it's a good game. It really is. It's a good game. And this one, I would say, is in between common and uncommon. Let me show you the screenshots on the back. It's a fun arcade racing game. We did have Cruisin USA back in the day, but we didn't have Cruisin World. But Cruisin World just did a better job at making an arcade racing game than the previous game. You know how it works with sequels, more improvements, slightly better graphics, and now we have it minty, so minty. Cruisin World, very happy to have it. This is the second game released in the Cruisin series for the Nintendo 64. And if you didn't know, Cruisin USA, the original, was an arcade game, and it was the first game unveiled for the Nintendo 64 console, when it used to be called the Ultra 64, but Nintendo couldn't call it the Ultra 64 because Konami had a trademark on the word Ultra. That's because back in the NES, the original Nintendo era, Konami had a publishing brand called Ultra. Cruisin World, it's a good game. If you want arcade racing, this is a great recommendation, and I'm super happy to have it. Don't just stand there, bust a move. Great 80s song. This is Bust a Move 2 Arcade Edition, and we can see this box. Oh, it's minty fresh. Oh, I just like the mint. Oh, I got that little crunch there. Bust a Move 2 Arcade Edition. You know what? Do you remember playing Snood back in the day on the Macintosh? Maybe you played it at school. Maybe back in the day you had a friend who had a Mac. But this is just like Snood. You shoot the ball, and you shoot it at the balls that are up in the ceiling. It's a good game. It is. It's a good game, and it does have a 2-player option on there. 2 players simultaneous. It's a good game. It's simple. It's been around for a long time. And look, it comes in one of these weird cardboard holders. I don't like them, but I like that they're unique. Each N64 game is its own flower. Look at that cartridge, super minty. Got a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top there. We can clean that off. Really mint cart. Super happy about that. This game is not rare. It's not easy to get complete in box, but it's not rare. Manual is mint. These Wrecking Balls, you've seen that one at least twice on this series. Bust a Move 2, there's another Bust a Move game, Bust a Move 99, which I don't have yet, but Bust a Move 2, it's a fun, easy arcade game. Maybe you're trying to get your friend into Nintendo 64. They've probably played this somewhere before, but yeah, it's fun. I recommend it. You recommend every game to us. Do I? Do I recommend Tetris to you? Now, you may have seen this on a previous episode because when I first got this, the box was laminated. I don't know why, but it really bugged me because it's not supposed to be that way. I actually looked it up to see if it was supposed to be that way because the box was laminated so well, but no, there's no laminated N64 boxes. So I sold that one in a previous bundle and I got it again for cheap. Here it is, Tetris. It's a puzzle game and it's not bad. I don't recommend it, but it's not a bad game. It's kind of like a 3D planet and you're playing Tetris on it. When I put it that way, it sounds kind of cool, but I can't recommend every game, right? So if you're obsessed with puzzle games and Tetris, maybe give this one a shot. Box is in real nice condition. Manual is in pretty good condition. I'd say very good. It looks a little rougher on the camera because with all the lights on it, it looks extra crinkly. But the manual is in good condition. Peek at those pages. Peek at those pages. Cartridge is really nice. I'm at the point in my collection now where I only get it if it's in very good or excellent mint condition. And if the price is super low. I don't even bother if it's in mint condition but the price is high. I only go if the price is super low. So Tetris Fear, this is a very common game, even boxed for the Nintendo 64. So if you love Tetris, then give it a shot. Otherwise, I think you can pass on this one. But you know what? The price is so low. Just go for it. Just get it. Put me in your house. Da, da. All right, I know you guys want to know what the heck this one is. So this one's got an interesting situation with it. Let's get into it. Shadowgate 64, I remember that one from a previous episode. And you know what? You're not incorrect. You're not incorrect. But here's what the deal is with this one. So I previously got Shadowgate 64 right here, and then I noticed that this whole time I had been looking for just the cartridge in better condition than the current one that I had. So I managed to be able to get a mint complete in-box one for the price that the cartridge alone usually goes for. So in my notes, I need to replace the cartridge and manual of my previous Shadowgate 64. So this was actually $14 less, including shipping, than I paid for my original Shadowgate 64 that has a sticker on the cart in the manual. So less for more? Yes! So we're gonna go ahead and compare the condition and do a upgrade ya, upgrade ya. Which one's the bad one? Which one's the best one? I know, this is the best one. So let's look at the previous one. Now Shadowgate is not a cheap game. This I would say is uncommon complete in the box. And the box has a tiny bit of warping on it. Tiny bit, like you can't even see it in the video, just a little bit of compression. But other than that, the original box that I had from before is in wonderful, wonderful shape. Then you had the extra paperwork, which I'm going to transfer over to my new one. And then we can see in my original one, cartridge has the stickers on the side and the sticker on the back. And then the manual, oh, look at that. Got the poster and the registration card, which I'm gonna put with my new one. And then the manual is pretty worn, but dun dun dun, Mega Movie sticker on the back. So what I'm going to do is actually flip this one for hopefully more than I paid for it, because when I originally got it, I got it for that insanely low price. That's the only reason that I bit on it. So now here's the new one that I got for $14 less than I paid for the very good condition box, but stickered cart and stickered manual. So we can see this box. Let me show you first. Oh, it's just so mint. It needs to be in a box protector this second. Look at that. Not even any decompression. Minty box. So mint, it's toothpaste. You know, the nice toothpaste. Crest Diamond 3D Luxe toothpaste. So that box is literally beautiful. And you can tell when they come with the original cart bag, it was usually not very much played at all. And you can tell from the condition. This is like new. And then you gotta do the final, the manual. Look at that manual. Like new. Like new manual. So again, the whole thing is getting upgraded, and I'm going to carry my extra paperwork, registration card, and poster over to my minty set, and then I will flip this one. I should be able to pretty easily sell it for more than I paid originally because I got it for that dirt low price. Someone's gonna get a great deal if they pick this up from me because they'll be getting it for less than a normal price either way. So super happy to now have the mega upgrade in what is definitely an uncommon boxed game. Really happy about that, and I wanted to share the upgrade with you guys. All right, since you can kind of already see the edge of this, sneaky peeky, I'll show you this one next. Yeah, you're seeing that, right? Super Nintendo is excellent. I really enjoy the Super Nintendo. And funny enough, the boxes are identical to Nintendo 64 boxes. Works out well for me because I only have to buy one size of protective collector's case. Protective collector's case. So here's Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. Say Diddy's Conquest again. You see the play that they have going on there? Conquest. I need to spell it out for you. But this is just the box and the manual because I already have the cartridges for the Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, and they're all mint. So now I have the box and manual for Donkey Kong Country 2. Now usually if you're picking up just the box and manual, you can get it for a very good price. This was that type of situation. Box is looking really great. Even older than N64. Even older than N64. But really nice box. I waited for the nice box. You guys know how it works. There's your Super Nintendo cartridge holder. Manual, pretty, I'd say it's in good shape. It's got a lot of crinkles on it, but for the price, it was a no-brainer. And now I have a complete in box Donkey Kong Country 2. And if you didn't know, this is often thought of as the best Donkey Kong Country game for the Super Nintendo. There's some innovation, they have improvements in the level design. So Donkey Kong Country 2, definitely a good game and I highly recommend it. All right, guys, one more to throw in there for you for today's episode, and I actually have a lot to say about this one. Hexon. Have you ever heard of Hexon? Hexon is similar to Doom. Maybe you would compare it more to Duke Nukem 3D, but this was a game that we had on the PC. Before I even knew what the heck Hexon was, I still have that PC disc, which is literally worth $0, but it's fun to have it around for the memories. You can see the box is in really great shape. It does have that tiny crunch, but that's really it. As far as mint everything else, this is not a very rare game, but it is a first-person shooter. It does have multiplayer, and it's really fun. This was one of my early exposures to PC gaming, as well as the first-person shooter genre. The game that gets the crown for my first exposure to first-person shooters was actually Doom 2. Yes, I didn't play Doom 1 first. I played Doom 2 first, and that was on the Mac. In fact, the only way that I really liked to play that game when I was much younger was with the God code on. Gadget God with the God code! And that's because you get every single gun, and you couldn't die, and since I was so young, that was the only way that I could progress in the game. But really, it was just fun to use the BFG in Doom 2 and just shoot that unlimited and kill everybody. And the shotgun, the double barrel shotgun. So Hexon is a good game. It's an early first-person shooter, but it's still fun. Not the best game ever, but I do recommend it if you're obsessed with early first-person shooters. You could definitely do worse, and it's cheap. This is a common game. Even complete in box, it's not that expensive, but to get it minty like we like to do, you have to be patient and wait for that 99-cent bid and hope you can bid it up to like $10 and win. So Hexon, I do recommend it, but it's not the best game ever. So that is gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of Complete Nintendo 64 Collection. Let me know if you had any of these games back in the day, and let me know if there's a game that you have that you want me to get, because to be honest with you, I wanna get it too. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I play retro games, so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, everyone. And go on a conquest today.